Good morning, everyone. Today we are making a Tuscan kale salad. All right, so this is Tuscan kale, and we are eating the leaves from the plant, the stalks. Well, I've made a nice little funny little arrangement out of it. And I have washed it. When you wash it, you want to make sure you're washing in cold water, and I've just cut it into strips. Okay, so this is called dinosaur kale. It's also called lacinato kale or cavallo nero. And it's actually a great vegetable to grow in your garden because it's really cold hardy. Okay, and the texture of it is kind of ruffled, so it's kind of like a Savoy cabbage in texture, but it is part of the basilica family. So it's really wonderful. It's high in vitamin K and vitamin A and vitamin C, a lot of the B vitamins. All right, so that's been washed. And now we are going to make our salad. So let's see. We're actually gonna make our dressing first. Now, traditionally with a salad, the ratio is 3 parts oil to 1 part of an acid. Today our acid is lemon juice. However, I don't like that much oil in my dressing, so we're just gonna go, it's equal parts. 1/2 cup of oil. I'm using canola oil today. I prefer canola because it's a neutral oil and it doesn't taste very strong. And we're using some lemon juice because it goes really well with the apples and the kale. So in here I have 1 clove of garlic, and I put in 1 teaspoon of salt. And this is garlic from my garden. You can tell it has a lot of water in it, which is kind of nice. All right, and I like the mortar and pestle because I feel like it really gets the juice out of the garlic. If you don't have one, you can just chop the garlic. I'm also gonna add, this is thyme from my garden. I like the flavor of thyme. I think it goes really well with lemon. If you don't have it, you can use oregano, or you can just omit it entirely. Okay. And I'm just kind of gonna grind this to a pulp. You could use a food processor for this, but I actually like my mortar and pestle because it gets a nice paste. All right, you're probably wondering where in the world is the lemon juice? Well, the lemon juice has already been squeezed, and I've actually added it to my apples so they don't turn brown. If you don't want to add garlic, you don't have to. Or if you just want to get just a little bit of flavor of garlic, what you could also do is just rub that garlic clove on your bowl, and you'll get still a limited flavor of garlic. Not as intense as we're going to get in here. All right, so we've got our lemon, our salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. And then I'm gonna add my oil. And we're just gonna whisk it really quick until it comes together. So it's really about 1 cup of dressing. If you wanted to take out half of this dressing, if it gets too much, you could. That's totally fine. But because we're gonna add some quinoa to it, I think it's gonna be good. All right, now I'm gonna add all of my vegetables. So in goes 2 stalks of celery that I've cut. This is shallot. Shallot is the member of the onion family. It's a cross between an onion and a garlic. I would say the recipe says it's 1 shallot. That's a 1/4 of a cup, if not 1/3 of a cup. And again, when you're making your salad, if you don't want that much, do less. If you want more, add more. This is a cup of dried cranberries. This is gonna give it a little bit of sweetness. Oopsies. The celery is gonna give it some nice crunch. I like a little bit of onion, but the shallot isn't as like intense and in your face. This is some toasted pecans that I've chopped up. And if you don't want pecans, you can do a different nut, or you can omit it altogether if you have a nut allergy. This is 2 apples. You can use any apple that you want. I'm using just some galas today. And again, they were just kind of soaking in that lemon juice. Now, if you're going to a party, what I would do is I would just mix this and let all of this just kind of flavor together. And I didn't put a carrot in it today, but if you wanted to add some shredded carrot, you could. And then you're gonna add your kale. Oh, you know what we forgot? In my vinaigrette, I forgot my sweetener, so I'm just gonna add like just a tablespoon. This is maple syrup, because if it's vegan, you're not gonna use honey. So you can use either maple syrup or agave syrup. Any like liquid sweetener is fine, or if you wanted to omit it totally, you could too. All right, next I'm gonna add my quinoa. Not my quinoa, my Tuscan kale. And then the other thing that we're gonna add is quinoa. It's the flowering plant of the amaranth family. You're gonna eat the edible seed. Now, quinoa is high in protein, it's gluten-free, it's been around for edible consumption for about 3,000 to 4,000 years, believe it or not. Originally grown in Peru and Bolivia. And I have actually already cooked some. So here, this is 1 cup of uncooked quinoa. I added 2 cups of water, a teaspoon of salt, and then I simmered it for 15 minutes. Okay, now I could add my quinoa to my salad, but we're actually gonna make this on a bed of quinoa. Why? Why not? And this is really good too. This is high in fiber. Like I said, it's high in protein. It has lots of wonderful minerals for you. So we have our bed of quinoa. And then, you know something? My hands are clean. I'm just gonna use my hands to mix this. Okay. And the other reason why I love making this kale salad, because it's great today, but it's also great the following day. This is a green that if it wilts a little bit, it's fine. If you didn't have this Tuscan kale, you could use regular kale. You could use arugula, and that'll give you like a nice little spicy bite. You could also use watercress. So you definitely have some different options. And you want to stir this until all of your leaves are fully coated with that yummy dressing that we made. We're almost there. And this is a really nice salad if you have some vegans that maybe you have over for Thanksgiving. This is a great addition to your Thanksgiving spread. All right, it's fully coated and all of the goodies are mixed throughout. So now I'm just gonna dump it on my platter. And what a beautiful meal that you have just made. It's absolutely meat-free, gluten-free, vegan, and it's nourishing. I guarantee you that once you eat this, you feel really good. So I guarantee you it is way better than eating that hot dog that you may have eaten. All right, so I'm gonna just take a little bit of quinoa. I'm gonna take it from the top. And we're gonna try it with my dirty hand. It's amazing. You get a wonderful crunch from the pecans, from the celery, from the onion. That kale is nice and toothy and earthy, and the salad is lemony. Try this vegan kale salad for your family. Enjoy. I love you all. Have a beautiful day.